Welcome to Step 1 on your road to affordable housing accreditation. We recommend starting with establishing a committee and appointing an accreditation coordinator who manages your accreditation activities. Even if you are a small organization, our tools can help you get organized so you can submit your application for accreditation and maintain your accreditation for the future. Time spent in preparing for accreditation varies from organization to organization. We require you finish your application within 90 days of registering for accreditation. An accreditation committee is beneficial for several reasons. You can delegate the work of writing responses and gathering evidence to different committee members. The committee members can decide collectively, based on their individual expertise, what documents and examples are best to use to demonstrate the organization is meeting specific guidelines. You can use the committee to plan for the site visit and also maintain your accreditation in the future. The committee can also be a great place for working through new ideas or solving challenges you may encounter that affect your operations. Your accreditation committee members should be comprised of staff from different departments of your organization that reflect an in-depth knowledge of how you operate in relation to each of the standards. Regardless of the size of your organization, you may have one person who is an expert in several standards. For example, your finance director may know all about Standard 2, financial management, but also may be the best person to describe governance of the organization, which is covered by Standard 1. Your committee will need individuals who write clearly and concisely, and who can assist with organizing and scanning documents to upload into the accreditation portal. The organization of your documents is key, as they serve as evidence of how you believe you are meeting the guidelines. Having a good understanding of the standards, guidelines, and indicators is a major activity for the committee. The standards and guidelines are on the Housing Accreditation website to download for any organization interested in accreditation. They are arranged with 8 broad standard domains, 47 more detailed guidelines, and 110 indicators. They're located under the Resources Tools section on the Housing Accreditation website. Download the document named Standards and Guidelines with Indicators. This would also be a good time to start delegating the standards to different committee members for writing narratives and gathering documentation for evidence. The Readiness Survey is another tool downloadable from the Housing Accreditation website that assists your organization with understanding accreditation and the standards. When completing the Readiness Survey, this is the time to review your organization's resources for completing and maintaining accreditation, as well as the documentation you utilize to manage your operations. Think about also staff, volunteers, interns who may be able to help with completing your application and maintaining accreditation. Remember, there's a 90-day turnaround after you register for accreditation to complete your application. Review and prepare the required information to submit on the registration form. The number of units under your operations is the determining factor for the annual cost of accreditation. Please see the fee schedule on the Housing Accreditation website for more information about costs of accreditation. The information for registration includes your organization contact information for Chief Executive, Accreditation Coordinator, and Board Chair. The Accreditation Coordinator is the main contact with the Affordable Housing Accreditation Board for the accreditation application. All 3 of these individuals will receive an email upon submission of your registration for accreditation. Additional required data points are founding year, current annual budget, total number of units, total number of sites, number of full and part-time employees, type of organization, and your organization's mission. Include a brief narrative describing why you are pursuing accreditation. Different reasons may include accreditation is part of your strategic plan or overall quality assurance plan. It also may be that you're interested in evaluating your organization against industry standards. A summary of your current operations assists AHAB's organization review team in understanding your organization's operations. Do you provide low-income public housing? Are you a moving to work organization? This is the type of information that is needed for review of your application. The final piece of information on the registration form is verification that the organization understands it is applying for accreditation. The organization review team will be looking for documentation from the governing body or executive that demonstrates the organization has agreed to pursue accreditation. This may be in the form of board minutes, resolution, or possibly an executive memo. Once you have registered for accreditation, AHAB determines your eligibility and emails you a link to begin your application. The Accreditation Coordinator Manual, downloadable from the AHAB website, leads you step by step through accessing the portal, entering narratives and uploading documentation, reviewing and submitting your final application. The Accreditation Coordinator can delegate the standards to different team members. Each team member should review how to write narratives and choose documentation downloadable on the AHAB website. Answering the indicators helps you describe how you meet each of the guidelines. The narratives and documentation should describe as well as demonstrate how your organization is meeting the guidelines for each standard. As you are preparing your application, keep in mind the AHAB Organization Review Team evaluates your organization on all 47 guidelines for the final report. We utilize the narratives and documentation in your application, but also the observations during the site visit and interviews we conduct with staff, volunteers, stakeholders, and residents. The AHAB Organization Review Team final written report describes areas of strength, distinguishes innovative practices, and makes suggestions in areas identified as challenging as revealed in your application or during the site visit. Many organizations that are eligible for accreditation may have a very small team. The difference in size is that the chief executive may take on the full role of accreditation coordinator and writing the narratives as well as gathering the evidence. This is totally acceptable as long as the organization demonstrates its leadership and governing board have determined to pursue accreditation candidacy, complete the application, and commit to the site visit. Please know we stand with you in your pursuit of accreditation. Your commitment to providing and managing quality, affordable housing is a valuable endeavor. Please utilize housing accreditation staff and resources for tips, answers to questions, or if you have any information to share in your pursuit of high quality, affordable housing.